Shalom. Alright, first and foremost, if I get started, I want to give all honor and glory and power to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Hakwadash. I want to say double honor to our elders, our great apostles, great millstone, GMS, who rule well and teach well, being a great example to Israel. Alright, main the elect. I want to say peace and blessings to the hope of the lick on the four corner, pushing the truth and sincerity. Alright, the great song, this your brother Nabah. I just come with this little quick lesson, through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Shai, who gives me the inspiration and motivation to do so, right before the evil times to come, as you know, to give those that have ears to hear and eyes to see, the protection, the hedge, which is a covering, known as a shield, as it involved in Isaiah 33:6, as his wisdom of the Bible, the knowledge of the Bible, and the understanding of the Bible will be your stability of your time. Which you're going to be able to withstand, the evil times, the wiles of the devil, also be able to quench, along with faith, the fiery darts of the wicked, which is going to be shot through the laws and legislations, that's going to be put forth, concerning his end, But as you can see here, this video I have is no more than the wicked, fulfilling his lot, as the Most High have said, as he continue to oppress the poor, he is known as the accuser of thy brethren, which accuse us day and night to the Father, when he is the root problem, and that's why judgment, is going to be upon his head, when you have a shot crack them clouds, because without him bringing and doing these things that got Jake, in this condition they in, it wouldn't be so. But there's no more than Yahweh Shema Shai creating the wicked for the day of evil, because it's our evil, it's our hard times, our bad time, our difficult times, and this came through the so-called white man being on top of us, and pushing these certain laws and legislation to bring us forth and keep us in a docile state of mind. But I'm gonna play this video. I say, Lord willing, y'all brothers and sisters be edified. While I lay low down, man. Check this out.
On foot. A lot of people.
And this only for education purpose use only, fair use.
Because a lot of drug dependent people will walk up to a house or to a car and buy drugs. So first thing I do is I go over to my class and I just want people. So I eliminate all the car noise. So now I just have the people that go through the scene in a 24-hour span of time. And I'm actually watching that in 9 minutes and 44 seconds. So I figure out now the next thing I want to do is, where do these people go the most? So I use the pass.
The pass.
And right then and there, I have my drug deals in seconds, because there's the frequency meter right there, and I can see the pass. So these two houses were in concert. We did search warrants on these later. But I also want to know, just for my own edification, how many people just go to that little door, like right there, every day? How many people go into that intersection? And this time, because I went a little higher, it's 400, because they cross underneath here too. So you can see every one of these people walking, and all these people are going, and the car are going right to that. Look at that. Does that look like a regular house deal, or does that look like a drug market? It's a drug market. How long did that take me to do? That took me a minute.
What would you have done otherwise?
Sat outside, the old school way. I used to go at 4 in the morning with a sleeping bag, a granola bar, and a set of binoculars, sit on a rooftop and call in drug deals. And then when the sun came up, when I could find a way to evac me, they would come get me and pull me out. And then we would try to start ripping customers. That eliminates that whole thing. That's the 32 hours, the man hours that I've just eliminated from this process. We go right to ripping 2 or 3 customers for positive results. Yep. Do a search. We did a search warrant.
See, these fucking devils, man. And it was just brought out a couple weeks ago. It's like dealing with Iran. They was speaking of how the CIA, is watching, the prophets, watching, watching the prophets, man. Bringing out all sorts of information, how the wicked is still plotting against the just. Fucking devils, man.
First and foremost, I know.
This is Psalms 10:8. He sitteth in lurking places of the village, in the secret places, though he murdered the innocent. And who is known as the innocent? The Israelites, man. And he says, And his eyes is probably set against the poor. All right? His eyes are probably set against the poor, man. And that's what gonna basically, all right, put him in the category, all right, of being judged. All right? Because the scriptures say, Habakkuk, check this out. This is Habakkuk 2:15. It says, woe unto him that giveth his neighbor drink, that puttest thy bottle to him, and maketh him drunken also, that thou may look upon thy nakedness, upon their nakedness. And that's exactly what these devils have done, because how do these drugs get in the community? All right, when Jake ain't got no, you know what I'm saying, no form, fashion, or way, all right, to bring these type of drugs, guns, and all other sorts of material things that bring Jake to a low vibration as they in now. Who had the power to do that? The so-called white man. All right, it's evidence known. There's plenty of videos, all right, that's been coming out how Esau, all right, plant these drugs and guns into the hood, all right, and then he have a means to what, out of order, to bring forth the chaos. Because what caused the chaos? These drugs. Remember, you going back to the 80s and in the 90s, going around the crack era. All right. Why Jake was doing that? Because of the position Esau, all right, which is systematic design, put them in. You see that? So by default, judgment is going to be upon Esau Edom, because he's known as the accuser. All right, he the one that, you know, put these drugs in the neighborhood and then say, look at them, look at them, look at them. All right, this is Psalms 37:12. It says, the wicked plotted against the just, and gashes upon him with his teeth, meaning his power. Basically going to the elect, but the just is Israel as a whole. All right, because through this system, all right, we have what? We have failed. The Lord have used this devil, all right, even though it's the curses, but he have used these devils for the curses to fall upon us. And guess what? He used his power, all right, big through his technology. You see how he can able to scope the trap house. You know what I'm saying? Through his technology, he know exactly who's selling the drugs. Look.
Drug trafficking, a lot of it's done on foot. A lot of people, because a lot of drug-dependent people walk up to a house or to a car and buy drugs. So first thing I do is I go over to my class and I just want people. So I eliminate all the car noise. So now I just have the people that go through the scene in a 24-hour span of time. And I'm actually watching that in 9 minutes and 44 seconds. So I figure out now the next thing I want to do is, where do these people go the most? So I use the pass.
The pass.
And right then and there, I have my drug deals in seconds, because there's the frequency.
See, that's part of his power, man, his technology. But like the scripture say in verse 13, the Lord shall laugh at him, for he said that his day is coming. You see that? The so-called white man, the other nation, their time is coming, man. They're going to fall in the same position that we are in. All right? Now, this is verse 32, jump down to 32. It said, the wicked watches the righteous and seeketh to slay him. All right, going back to that video that Iran brought out. All right, dealing with the CIA, how they watching us. All right, the wicked watches the righteous and seeketh to slay him. The Lord Yahweh will not leave him in his hand, nor condemn him when he is judged. See that? Because the Lord, all right, the elect, all right, gonna be justified in the Lord's eyes. But Esau Edom, all right, he will be judged. That's why I said, what I have to do to declare my statutes and take that covenant in thy mouth. All right, you're gonna reap all the benefits, all right, that you sow. Now this is Proverbs 29:13. It says, the poor and the deceitful man meet together. The poor and the deceitful man meet together, the Lord Yahweh lighted both their eyes. You see that? So the Most High is control of both situations. All right? No more than the Most High, all right, have Esau in the trick bag. You know, but it's all to fulfill his will, because the curses had to come. But he used Esau to bring the curses through his laws and legislation, through his wickedness and his pride. All right, but guess what? The Lord is not going to allow the elect to be taken. All right. But going back to this video, this no more than Esau, Edom, sitting in the local places, all right, hiding out, all right, seeking, all right, to devour, all right, the poor. So Lord willing, y'all brothers super edified. Next time, Shalom, Baba Baba, Baraka Akim, man, Lord team bless y'all day.